delighted to have you all here today, and a very special welcome to our honored guest, the SVP of Prince Edward Hastings, our current Minister of Education, and our former Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Leona Navarro.
Thank you very much, Cameron, and I feel a little bit awkward being introduced as a guest because this is my ride, and I'm a regular customer of Ivanhoe cheese. I have been for 5 years, and so I see all of the folks who are in Blue Coat standing among us. Thank you very much for the good job that you do. I'm able to provide this product as gifts, and I serve it to my family on a regular basis. And my very favorite is the horseradish cheese. That is the best of anywhere. And I bring it to my office in Toronto. I've introduced so many people to that great taste. So I thank all of you who have a hand in some way bringing that product to us. So I'm home today in my riding, and it's always particularly happy for me when I'm able to make an announcement about an investment of provincial money right here in the riding. And I want to thank Gailey Foods and Ivanhoe Cheese for making this event possible. And why we are here today is to talk about an investment that the company has made that I think is good for the people who work here, it's good for the people who buy the product that comes out of this facility, and it's good for the people in the province of Ontario. The Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs has a very important fund called the Rural Economic Development Fund. Now this fund has been in place for a number of years, but only recently, because of the conversations that we've had with the owners of this facility and other food processing facilities, which include other cheese factories, we've come to understand that cheese factories in rural communities are real economic drivers, and that they should qualify as food processors to benefit from the Rural Economic Development Fund. And up until just a few months ago, that was not the case. And I'm happy that the McGuinty government saw fit to change the criteria to allow food processors like cheese factories to apply to the fund. And why are cheese factories applying to the fund? Because they have a stellar record of providing a safe, quality food product for people in Ontario and people beyond our borders. And they know that when they are able to market their product as safe and quality and produced in an environmentally conscious way, that makes their product even more marketable in this broader marketplace. You know that the consumer is very savvy about the food they eat now, and they like to purchase products that they know is safe, taste good, but also that they know has not had a significant impact on our environment. And so cheese factories came to the ministry and they put the case that we would like to make some investments, primarily to manage the wastewater, the wash water that's generated in the production of cheese. We'd like to manage that more safely than they did before. And this, of course, requires a significant investment. And they made the case that, you know, if we're able to do that, and we're able to market that, that's good for the people who work in our cheese factories, that's good for the people in the community who buy the cheese, and beyond the community who buy the cheese. You know, it's good for the environment. And it really does place cheese producers as a beacon in the food processing industry as well, that you've recognized how you can manage your waste product in a more environmentally friendly way. So, as a result of all of that work, all of those conversations, the Government of Ontario has included food processors, cheese factories, as eligible for the Rural Economic Development Fund. And I'm delighted to be here today to announce that Ivanhoe Cheese Company has qualified to receive $377,000 from the Rural Economic Development Fund to invest in their plan to manage their wastewater from this plant in a more environmentally friendly way. So I say to them, congratulations. They've done a lot of work prior to this. Then, of course, when they get the nod that, yes, we think this is something the government would like to support, then they have to go through the application process. They were successful in that, and that's allowed me, the local member, to come here today and say to all of you, because of your good work, your fine efforts, and the bravery of the owners of this who understand, by taking some risks and making some investments, that's only going to make your future more secure. That's only going to make the food that you produce more safe. That's what they have done. So on many, many levels, this is good news for Ontario. It's good news for this community. I think it's good news for Ivanhoe. And I'm delighted to be here to be a part of it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Leona. This truly is a good news day for this plant. And as Leona said, these small communities, these plants in these communities are true economic drivers. Just look around the parking lot here. Look at the number of cars in this parking lot. You don't see this many cars at many plants in small communities. So this really does help rural Ontario.
Yes.
That's why it's the Rural Economic Development Initiative. I actually truly see 2010 as a key date. This $377,000 that we'll be receiving will actually allow us to put in a $750,000 wastewater treatment system for the plant. And that is something, try to rally up $750,000 to put something in that big. Really, it's by the hands of Gailey and the Ontario government that will allow us to actually reach this goal. Just on a little bit of history, because I really do see 2010 as a key date, but we also have some other key dates in our history. 1870, Ivanhoe Cheese is celebrating its 140th anniversary. It's the oldest cheese plant in Canada, probably produces the widest variety of cheeses anywhere in all of Canada. 1979, it's a really interesting date. That was the date that this plant burned down, and I was actually reading the Black River article in the Intel yesterday and saw how Black River built back up from a fire, and so did we. And 1979, I thought that was really interesting how that occurred. There was actually a waxer that was left on, started a fire. The fire truck showed up at the back door in the middle of January. They roll up the door and all the water in the fire truck is frozen. That was the reason this plant burned down. 1985, the plant was purchased by Bruce Kingston and owned independently for a handful of years. 1991, you can see the big white addition at the other end of the plant. The plant was expanded. In 2000, we received our HACCP certification. Basically, it's a recognized body showing that we produce great quality, safe foods. 2008, this plant became a cooperative again, as it was purchased by Gailey Foods from Bruce Kingston. And in 2010, the wastewater initiative and the project that's going to go in the back of the plant. So truly good news for the plant. A couple of things I just want to say that we get a lot of audits for the plant, and I know that a lot of our suppliers ask more environmental questions than ever before. They ask questions, they ask us to document it. This truly helps strengthen our ability to compete in a global marketplace or a Canadian marketplace. So would also like to thank Chris Spencer, the person who helped me out the most putting this together. Good job, Chris. Thank you very much. So I really want to say this is good news for the plant, this is good news for the community. Thank you.